process to kind of change and be better and to be conscious and be awake. You got to be intentional about everything you do. And I don't think I was moving with intention. But now I feel like, okay, I have a plan. I know that purpose has always been in me, but I see my purpose. I see where I can be an asset to society. I know what I bring to the table. I know that what I have and what I touch, I can make into gold. It's just, believing in myself and, you know, caring more about others than myself is one thing. I still have to care about myself. So it gives me a good balance being in this environment, doing what I'm doing here. It's like my purpose is clear. I can wake up in the morning and be happy. My life may not look the exact same as it did while I was in politics, but now being on this side and seeing that I can be hands on, that's what I needed. And I realize that now. So that's really what's inspiring me is that not only have I been able to shift gears and kind of change my trajectory for my future and start up something new, something that I'm passionate about, that I love, I'm taking it and making it to something that I can share with other people. So all the blessings that I receive from this and all the things that I'm learning, I'm giving it right back to the people around me, friends, family, people that I'm meeting on the sidewalk, people that I'm meeting in the gym, lifestyle people, and we can develop something together. We can find ways for what I've learned to help them, and then we can form it based on what's going to work in their lives, and they can benefit from the things that I've learned. No more gatekeeping, because I had this whole like wall up, and I was tunnel vision only on certain things, and I was not taking off the blinders. I'm inspired by just how the people in this environment show up. The way that everyone's willing to teach each other something, the way that we are all striving to be better and ourselves to be the best versions of ourselves, that really sits with me in a way that I don't think anything I learned in school has been, I couldn't really apply anything really other than, the book stuff and the work and the politics or whatever. But I think I'm finally seeing real people be transparent and true, really show their vulnerabilities, their weaknesses, but also present their strengths in a way that's like they're superheroes. And I love it. So I think that's what inspires me the most here. That was long winded.
No, that's not, you're not the first one who speak that long with one breath. I can't do it much like I used to. But yeah, this is I would say this bodybuilding is a sport that you have to have a passion for. You have to love what you're doing. You have to understand the process. Most people, like I said again, they look at it because it's a very fringe sport. If you look now, your division probably it gets more attention because you have that certain look, very feminine, great lines. As you know, most of my focus on women in bodybuilding physique because they often are the ones who often get more of the ostracization by society because they're wearing building muscle, and most people are not comfortable with it. You have guys making comments about being manly, but even I have heard that even pick on you bikini girls. They say you're getting muscles, you get a man. But here you go. This is a very beautiful woman, guys. I don't know what do you see manly about her? Get some muscles.
Right.
And this is why I say this: muscles does not equate to being a man. I'm like I said again. I've lived nearly half a century, and it took me time to be a man, to walk, to turn, to learn to walk, to work, and to do what I had to do. Like one point, I was holding two jobs, when I was younger, and then now I'm not doing anything but taking care of myself. It's a process, and it's also about time to grow and develop. It's not about how your muscles are built. That doesn't make you man. There's guys who are about my age and still act like they're teenagers. My younger brother, for example, for that. But you know what? I like I said again, even though I'm not too much of a division, I do respect what y'all competitors do. I respect your motivation, your determination, your consistency, and your discipline. Like any athlete, you have to be disciplined in sport.
I totally agree. And thank you for that. I appreciate you seeing us, even though it's not your, obviously it's not your favorite division. Okay. We get it. But it's still all love. And I appreciate that because you're right. It does take a level of like discipline, especially because our frames and the body fat percentage that we have on a regular is much less. If we want to be competitive, we have to keep it low. And that means if I want a Rice Krispie today, I can only eat but so much of it before it starts showing up on my body. And it's just like that. Like the way that my body can alter overnight, it it has fluctuated so much and it changes so quickly, and I have to be able to keep up with that, and I want to be competitive. I want to be a winner in this. I already am a winner, but I want to get to where I need to be, and I have to stay on track. And like I said, I love candy and stuff, and if I have too much of maybe just even a handful of little something, it appears on my body in a day or so, and you can easily be discouraged, but mind over everything else. You got to have control over your mind, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. The quick question: what we do for a Klondike bar?
Oh,
The
you're
question.
funny. And I
Yeah.
actually do like them. A lot of people don't like Klondike bars.
Yeah. I like Nutty Buddies better.
Mm.
The chocolate nuts. Paws, as the guys like to say. But I like But yeah. But like I said, doing this process, doing this content, and talking to you ladies like yourself, who and this I keep saying it's about, especially for the women, even y'all ladies. There's more of a expense. I had a debate with lady said that, oh, it costs the men just as more, but just talk about food. But then those guys all they gotta do, like men's open, classic 212, and also men's physique. All you gotta wear a pair of banana hammocks and board shorts. That's it. You ladies, you other than just the stuff like kind of your coaching, going to the shows, your tanning, your suits, you wear hair, makeup, high heels. It costs y'all a lot more. You might offset it because the men eat more, but then it takes more to present a woman. Like ladies, like I said, one of my jobs, I worked in a strip club. The girls had to come out. They needed a nice outfits, design, and get the attention of the customers to make their money. And if bodybuilding was more like a mainstream sport where you can make a living off of it, where won't have to do a job. A lot of competitors, they work in the fitness industry, to make their money. If they have a good job where it can help pay for the cost and everything like that, this is a hobby sport that when you get into it, you have to sit down and say, let me calculate with this. I got to make sure I can pay my rent. Got to make sure I pay my coach. Got to make sure I get enough food for the week. So I have my prep. There's so much involved in it that you have to sit down. You have to be pretty much a mad scientist with math.
Literally, not including that you didn't mention the supplements and the vitamins, all of the greens and fruits and all those things, the makeup, the hair. If you do that, I do my own makeup and hair now because I've been practicing since I was a kid. But, I do calculate all those things. I do like to get new suits, even though everyone's like, you're not supposed to get a new suit every time you get on stage. And I get that. But I like a new suit. I like a new color. I want to see a different look. So yeah, it does require a lot of budgeting, and it's helpful to do it in advance and prepare and all those things. But our suits are very expensive and they're worth it. They're pieces of art that are made by hand, and so I get it. But it is definitely something you have to budget for. So take that into account now, much more than I did before.
Yeah. I think also it's good that you have support, like your mother and you have mother and brother and sisters, anything or
Yeah, I have my mom. Shout out, I'm literally just visiting her right now too. And then I have my older brother Robert. Shout out to Rob, and my two younger brothers Pedro and Cassius. And I'm the middle child. I'm the only girl, so queen of the
oh,
house.
I'm technically, like I said, my father had a son before he married my mother. I have three older sisters, where I have two now because one of them passed away. I had an older brother. I have a younger brother and younger sister. Actually, my father, after he left my mother, even though they were still legally married for 55 years, but he lived in New Jersey. We still in North Carolina. But but yeah, I'm kind of the middle of it. And here's the thing is, the firstborn, that's father's favorite because that's his first child. The baby is mother's. That's the last one. Us middles, we have to fight for our love. We have to fight because
Hmm.
we. I used to sometimes used to joke my mom. Sometimes we was like some days we say, "Mom, ain't I a man, Mama? Ain't I a man?" I said, "Nah, you're my baby." I said, "I'm a man, Mama." But
The
that was
boys
my mom
always
was
get babied by the moms, especially out here. The moms baby the sons. That is why I'm technically the oldest child, even though my older brother, he's there. But I changed his diapers. Don't tell him I said that.
yeah
And I well, I'm being the middle child. I will say my other brother, who's the middle child, I don't know. We kind of like clash a bit sometimes. We just have the same brain, but not at the same time. I think the middle children are the best. I mean, we're more ambitious. We've had a little taste of it all, being right there in the middle. Sometimes we get left out. Sometimes we're brought in. I don't know. I like it. Best
yeah
of both worlds.
Yeah, that's sometimes for good while I was the youngest, and my brother came along, and then and it's just that's how it is sometimes, especially during families. And I think about what go about the family thing, because some people, family members and friends, don't understand what it is about bodybuilding, what inspires you, and what gets you into it. And especially when you go to the shows, we who go to the shows, we see competitors up on stage. We understand the what you had to go through to get there, the dieting, the training. Sometimes you have to, like I said, you got to bring your, especially for women, you have to bring your body fat very low. And women, you have a natural BMI compared to men. Men, we can drop weight fast. Women, you, because you have hips and thighs, everything else. You bear children because you need that for nursing. But people don't understand what take you to get there,
Right.
and just the dieting. We see this presentation, these beautiful bodies, ripped, shredded, all tan, oiled up. But understand that they're upstairs, on this stage. You're tired, you're dehydrated, you're hangry, you know, and we just don't understand that. And then also you got to think about it. If you got brothers and they're going to the shows, and then you got a guy that says, "Who's that? Pretty little yellow thing up there in the bikini?" Yeah, yes. Yeah. Hey, that's my sister. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
hey, my
I
sister.
actually haven't had any family come to my shows yet because when I first started out, I knew it was a big deal, but I needed to focus. Like first of all, I was traveling all over, so it's not like they can just pick up and just travel wherever I was going.
Mhm.
But I hadn't invited anyone to come in person yet for those reasons to just kind of stay like, locked in for me. And I was also trying to figure out like, is this for me? Am I doing this for me? Or am I doing this for everybody else? And I kept some things for myself. But now that I'm getting to where I want to be, I'm finding my like groove here. I'll definitely be inviting them to the next couple, but I don't know. They always join from the live stream and then they'll send me videos and stuff halfway through. I like it better that way because I can
Yeah,
stay focused
yeah.
until I
Your
go to
mom,
the O. When I go to the O, everybody better show up.
yeah, your mom said, "That's my baby up there. That's my baby." And I know almost any parent's proud. I've talked to ladies sometimes. Their parents don't understand it. Even they may not want to talk about it, but then every now and then they eventually say, "You know what? This is what you want to do. This is your life. This is who you want to be." And even though I might not understand it or might not like it, but I support you, and that's a good thing. If you have that, because I have ladies told me that they lost friendships, family members that just don't get around with them anymore because you're changing yourself. You're changing because this sport is very extreme. It's so much farther. Like when you have like you go to holiday events or family functions, you have to bring your own food because you can't eat like especially if you're still in North Carolina. We got the best barbecue in anywhere, somebody's heating up pork and stuff like that, and you got good old sweet potato pie and everything out there, but you can't eat that. You have to
Hmm.
bring your own Tupperware, and
I
it'll
do.
be yeah, like it'd be like maybe asparagus and chicken or beef and broccoli and wait a minute, we just lost her. Give her a minute, she might come back. Hello, China. Wait a minute, give a second. I think we have a little connection issue. So, folks, we give China a bit time. I think something happened. There, wait a minute. She's coming back. So, why here, folks? We just you talk to me for a little bit until we get back. But that's the thing about people understand. There's so much involved for these competitors. Can you hear me? Hello. I think we might have some technical difficulties, folks. It happens like that. But we'll give her a few more minutes. If not, we'll probably end the interview and maybe just get back to it later. We might do a part two if she ever feel like it. But yeah, doing this content and talking to you ladies, guys, you have to respect their passion for the sport, the time to put into it. We lost her. She might pop back up. Wait a minute. There she is.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. It just kind of disappeared there.
Yeah, it happens sometimes, it happens. But yeah, it's good that you have your mother, your brother support you. And are you sponsored?
Oh, yeah, man, I'm glad that you asked. I'm sponsored by Clinical Labs. They're my supplement company. Great supplements. They're research based. They're natural. They work wonders. I use their glucose disposal agent quite a bit. That's my everyday. Their cortisol control is definitely one that I love a lot. I love their pump enhancer and I love their thermogenic high fat burner. Use those when I work out. I don't try to combine too many things, but they're combinable supplements. Love them. Clinical Labs supplements. Check them out. Use my code for the discount. Find China, FINECHYNA. So far, that's all I got. However, I am out here, mingling and networking and doing my thing. I've worn Toxic Angel bikinis, love them. I've had two bikinis from them. And then I have Mandarin luxury bikinis. Miss Sarah, she's amazing. She's small business out of California as well. Beautiful bikini that I wore in Union City. That was my emerald green. She's great. I love her. I've been working really close with all of them. I get my jewelry from Miss I believe Miss Jackie, and she's with All That Glitters jewelry, and she gives me everything I need. I love their jewelry as well. Outside of that, I haven't really landed anything yet. I guess they're all just kind of waiting idly to see what happens with my career. And that's totally fine, but if I get snatched up, that's it.
Well, like I said, it's good to get sponsorship because I remember ladies telling me how back then you had sponsors that could take care of everything needed. They had to spend that much of their own money, but nowadays most of them have to. If you're lucky enough to get a company, you get they usually give you maybe little points for using the codes and like that. But here's the this: you get these guys out here, China, and you're a cute young girl, and we maybe want to do a deal with you, China. You're kind of cute, you got a nice little
I
bubbly attitude
try.
about you. But here's the thing is, we don't want people like that. What we want is people actually saying like, Miss Milton, we really like your story, your passion, what you've done over your career, your service for the government. We work for a company, and we often look to help our athletes and find their way in the sport. And we have a product that might work for you. If it doesn't, then that's fine. But if you're interested in it and you want to be part of our company, we make you a brand ambassador, help you in your process, and just see you grow in your future in the sport of bodybuilding. That's all we want from you, madam. So if you are interested, let us know, and we're happy to work with you, and you work with us.
I love that. I am all for a company who's willing to have mentorship, to pass down skills, to work together. I'm all about Black owned businesses, minority owned businesses, helping small businesses, develop, expand, market. That's what I want to use my brand for. I don't want to just go to the big companies that everybody goes to all the time because, I mean, that's for you guys. But for me, I want something that's going to have meaning, have purpose, have passion, give back. It can't just be us just out here all about ourselves all the time. It needs to be a collaboration so that we can work together to make this environment and this world a better place. I want
Well,
that.
you know what? I'm gonna do you a favor. When we get off here, I'm gonna send you a link. It's my friend Eunice, the one giving me the magazine. She runs her own company called Bad Rap, and they do clothing and stuff. Work with bodybuilders. She's looking to maybe, try to sponsor uh, someone in bikini or any other division. She really wants to expand more because it does help. Because a lot of really, if you get more of y'all ladies in part of it, it does get more attention. Because every day people don't think women like it. This is I think. I think women with muscle are beautiful. I think all women are beautiful, but I do
Absolutely.
have do have penchant for these ladies with muscle, and but I do respect the passion in what y'all do in the sport. That's why I do these interviews. That's why I reach out to her. I would like one day. I keep saying I would love to have Andrea on here and talk with her.
Yeah.
That'd be my dream. I remember I actually saw her do a guest posing of a show about a few years ago, and that was great to see her there. And just talking with the ladies who I've met in before or on social media or in person, do interviews, and the friends I've gained, and just in a while back, I was in Rayford. I don't know if you know this guy. His name is Glenn Young Senior, and he runs his own Amazon Fitness magazine. That was the first time I got to meet some female bodybuilders when he had a debut for his magazine, and I met a couple of friends I made during my time in social media, and then going to Savannah in 2022 and going to my first bodybuilding show. And this is really inspiring. Right now, I'm thinking about going to a show. My oldest niece lives in Atlanta, and there's the Linda Murray Atlanta Pro coming up, and I'm hoping I can make it. Or I got a friend. He said he wants to fly me out to a show he's doing. I don't know what now things going with flying. I'm not sure, but